Good everyone, welcome to this video, and today we have a premium series flyout in the Russian P-40. Now, those of you that watched the tank, or the T-34 1940 video, you may see this thing as a great ground attacker, which, in Tank Force, it bloody is. And you'll notice that I said something about a review for this aircraft, and also, what I think of it overall. Now, there's a good reason for that. The problem is with the P-40 for the Russians, it doesn't affect the US P-40s. I mean, it technically does because it has to fight Russia, which have better climb rates, but it can make up for that. The problem is that the Russian P-40 has been power creeped to ever-living shit. This aircraft is very hard to make work. There's a good few reasons. As I've mentioned, the climb. The climb is terrible for the most part. The turn rate, whilst it's sufficient for a 109, is not sufficient for a J21, and given that we're at a BR of 2.7, we are highly likely going to be fighting those things. And that's the main issue. The Russian P-40 has to fight so much stuff which it just cannot compete with anymore. J21s will outclimb you, outturn you, outgun you, and I mean, it depends. I mean, if you take it above 450 miles an hour, he'll tear his wings off, but you won't. But you get my point. And if it's an A21, he could even outcast you if he wanted to. So you can kind of understand why I think the P-40 is a little obsolete. But obviously, I'm not going to mention it too much here. I'm simply just going to do the flight as normal. I'm not going to spoil anything for the review. So let's get started. Like I say though, I'm not saying the P-40 is a bad plane. Far from it. It's just obsolete. That's the problem. But that is the problem with most aircraft now. Ever since War Thunder's decided to add in Sweden and all these lower tier clubber aircraft, it has been very hard to actually make a P-40 work. Well, specifically the Russian P-40. I slipped my tongue there in case you didn't notice, but it is very hard to make this aircraft work. And that's why the P-40s as a whole should drop BR considerably. They do not deserve to sit at 2.7 anymore. I mean, you could put them at 2.3 and up tier the J21s to maybe 3.7 and it would be fine. But until then, yeah. So we're fighting the Americans, the British, the French, and the Swedish in natural fashion. Now the question is, what BR are we at? Because that will make a huge difference as to what I can do in this aircraft. If we're at 3.0, we're fucked. If we're at 2.7, we're okay. And if we're at if we're at 3.3 to 3.7, we are definitely fucked. We've just got to hope the rest of this team doesn't spawn in aircraft that are higher BR than me. Because otherwise, we're fucked. For the most part. So like I say, the climb rate of this aircraft is much to be desired, and obviously the guns, they're good, but they're early war belts. We should at least have mid-war on P-40s. P-40s were used for a long time in the war. I think they were used until like 44, late 43. They were around for a long time. They wouldn't keep AP ammunition just for one aircraft. You'd be loading APIs in this sucker. I'm just proposing here ideas on how to buff this aircraft, because, well, the first thing you can do, drop BR to 2.3, easy peasy. Then, number 2, give it the mid-war belts. That would at least make it competitive. Well, I say competitive, I mean the 650s hit hard enough anyway, but you get my point. Then up tier the J21s to a minimum of 3.7, same with the B-18, the B-18B to be precise, the B-18A, given that thing's power output, I personally wouldn't put that thing any higher than 3.0. Big Sven could easily go to 3.7 and work just fine. Trust me on that. But that's the problem nowadays. There's just so much stuff that outclasses the P-40, and it's sad because this is one of the few planes that I came to War Thunder for. Which is just sad. I came to War Thunder for props, I came to War Thunder for Shermans and stuff like that. I came for the World War II stuff. Maybe Korean era jets. That's it. That's what I saw in War Thunder, and that's what I wanted. Nowadays, though, it's just so much harder to actually do anything like that. Okay, well, it looks like we're 2.7, which is good. We can beat the J-22s. The J-22s I do not have a problem with. Hold on a minute, that's a 3-0. That's a 3-0, that B-18B. For God's sake. In other words, they'll probably have swarms of J-21s, whilst we'll have no 3-0s to counter them. Balance, comrade. Fucking balance indeed. F2A, okay, that's not too bad to deal with. Buffaloes are fun. And I know how to counter it. But like I say, the climb rate on this thing is much to be desired. It's about 2,000 to 3,000, well, about 2,500 to 3,000 feet a minute, depending on the day. And whatever the wind is heading, but you get the gist. So, J-22s, those will be okay to deal with. I can deal with those. Those are no problem. Their guns are good, but they're very flammable, so I can deal with them. F2A, Poto 631, Spitfire, F2A, VG33, another J-22. So far it's not looking too bad. This is probably the best matchmaker that you could ask for in this aircraft. And that's not a lie. You couldn't ask for anything better. Okay, let's just keep an eye out, so we don't want to dive in early and get swarmed. And I mean, the rather appropriately named Soviet spam looks to be coming our way. If it's Soviet spam, then it's not made of it's not made of normal food. It's just made of potatoes. Right, he has got better guns than us, but we do have the altitude and speed advantage right now. So we'll fire a long burst. See what I mean? They're flammable. They're flammable. That was our best option there, given that was an A model. They're very flammable, but they do sometimes put fires out. Let's see if you stick. And it's stuck. Lovely. Off to a good start. And our team is not off to a good start, of course. Alright. I am circling above these guys, but this is the issue now, is that most of my team is already dead. And this is another problem with the Russian teams nowadays. This isn't a problem with the aircraft. The aircraft's fine, if it's in this scenario. It's the fact that if you leave your team for even a minute, they just die. Let's see what this J-22 does, because I want to see what he does. If I can at least get him to drop his out a bit, I can at least go back up for altitude. That's the plan here. We're trying to get this guy to go down, because the higher we are above the enemy, the more chance we have of killing them. What's he gonna do? I think he knows about my bad rudder, because that's what he's trying to utilize right now. Okay, we're not going to overcommit. We've got the dive speed, he doesn't. Remember, he can snipe with those guns. He can very easily snipe. I think he knows he ain't got the horsepower to keep up. After all, that aircraft is basically a wildcat. But as you can tell, the team's gone. The team is dead, pretty much. The last few guys are going back to base for repairs. It's down to me, pretty much. Because I'm undamaged. I haven't taken a scratch. And again, this is a huge problem with Russian teams. They just die so quickly because they don't know what they're doing. They believe in this whole Russian bias bullshit, and then the teams die extremely quickly. There's nothing you can really do. And as you can tell, two guys are gaining out, whilst the other one, or the other one swarm. This is the problem with Russian teams. Well, there goes him. Is someone trying to spike? Yes, he is. He's trying to spike. Now, we are faster than a buffalo, I think. But as you can tell, none of my team have a kill. You see why I gave you that warning in the Chaika video? About Russian videos, or the Russian Premium Series videos being shorter than the others? You now know why. This is why. Yeah, I think we're faster than a buffalo on the deck, so we should be okay. But as you can tell, that guy's now got out, because I had to give it up to engage enemies. And I've got the entire enemy team chasing my tail. The only one I could consider a threat is that P-40, who just decided to hug a... or just decided to hug that. That's fine. But you can see what I mean. Just the Russian teams die so quickly. I'm just going to use what dive speed I have left to make up with and just keep on going. There's absolutely nothing I can do here. We're down to a MiG-3 and a Yak, including myself. I'm dragging the entire enemy team because the team has done nothing. I mean, we had Yak 2s who just went down and did nothing. We had Lags, we had P3s, we had Yaks, we had an I-16. Like, they've just done nothing. It looks like Arkansas is continuing the pursuit, which I don't blame him, to be brutally honest, but all we can do right now is just go back and J out, because that's all I'm going to do. That's the only thing I can do. And obviously, as fast as we are on the deck, he's catching up. Which, given his altitude status, I'm not surprised, but you can just see it's just been a slaughter. 2 kills, 2 kills, 1 kill, 1 kill, 1 kill, 1 kill, the rest have crashed. I'm just gonna land a J out, this team's gone. There's nothing I can do. We should be clear to land, however I'm gonna be showing off a trick that I do now. This might save some of you guys' lives from a runway strafer. Keyword, might. They might figure it out. Just make sure that's on flaps landing. Now we do have a good crew on this aircraft, so we're not gonna be too concerned about him trying to vault, but... Oh Jesus, that FPS drop. I swear Guardian really needs to fix their FPS problems. Yeah, the trick is, park behind one of these hangars. Now obviously, because he's higher than us, it ain't gonna make a difference, but it's from when people come in low. And look at that, 13 seconds on crew. Nice and easy, but I'm just gonna J out. There's absolutely nothing that I can do here. I mean, we've got half the enemy team still alive, and I'm the only one with kills, so... Yeah. As previously mentioned, you can now see why the Russian Premium Series flights are going to be shorter than the others. So, if you like seeing Russian planes, well, premium planes, yeah, they're not going to be very long, that's for definite. At least when we get to the other nations, maybe not China, we might actually have some fun out of it, and actual matches longer than 15 minutes. But I hope you enjoyed today's video regardless on the P-40. Like I say, the review is coming shortly. I don't think it's all that hot in ARB unless you are in very specific circumstances. And it appears we might have a bit of fan mail. You tried to murder a sub. Shame on you. Well, here's your cameo appearance, buddy. I'll chat to him after. But that's nice to see. Like I say though, the Russian Premium Series videos will be shorter than the others. I cannot help that. Not many people can, and even in that amazing scenario where I could obviously try and get video out of it. Whilst we didn't have the best game, we got to meet a sub clearly, and most importantly, we got a couple of kills out of it, which is always nice. But the next one in the series will be the P-39K, which I love this aircraft. It's very nice, but again, if I have to carry, I'm just gonna J out. I can't be asked. But I don't know who this Alconceal guy is, but I'm pretty certain he's in my comments section. So if you are here, mate, enjoy your cameo appearance. You're now Stan Lee. But anyway, I'll see you all on the next one.